Hey guys, it's Brian, co-founder of Bobby Rabbits. Today I wanted to do a video on generative art and how to draw in layers. I think it's really important to learn how to do this if you want to make NFTs because drawing in layers allows you to create thousands or theoretically even millions of images based on just a few layers. Instead of drawing 1,000 different Bobby Rabbits, for example, Bobby drew our rabbits in layers. So there's probably, 20, 30 layers. And we Mr. Potato Headed all those together to create, 1,000 different rabbits. We could have made like 9 million of them, but, that's excessive. So let's get started. First, you need something like we used an iPad with an Apple Pencil and the program Procreate, but anything that you can use that gives you the ability to create new layers will work. I'll go ahead and play this screen recording of my iPad and then walk you through it. I just did this one to give you guys an example of how it works. So first of all, I'm just picking my colors here and the brush type that we're going to use. In Procreate, I found that the airbrushes create a little bit smoother lines. Also, if you hold the pencil down after a line, it will round it out perfectly like what you just saw. So right now I'm filling it in, and as you can see, those lines are a little small. Over here on the left, you can actually change the size of the brush. These are just some features within Procreate, doesn't really matter. Essentially what I'm doing right now is creating our first layer, which is like the head or the body. So with the Bobby Rabbits, it's like the same shape but a lot of different colors. You want to create a new layer here once you've done one category. So we separate that body trait from the hair, which is happening next. So this is our first attribute. We would call it maybe blonde hair or something like that. You go ahead and you just draw out what you want that layer to be, then you hide it and you create a new layer, and then you can do another type of hair. So here's a totally different look. I just threw some like black longer hair on this guy, and again, go to the layer, hide it. You can create another one. You can do as many of these as you want. I would start with maybe like 5 different styles of each one, maybe like 5 different color bodies, 5 different hairdos, 5 different facial expressions, but you can really do it however you want. We set up folders for each attribute. So we have like a bodies folder, eyes, shirts, and here you can see, you can toggle on and off the different layers. So that's how we were able to create, a lot of different rabbits with a lot of different features really quickly. I think, here we go. So I'm moving on to a different folder, which would be the eyes folder. So obviously you're creating a new layer. You can leave one of the previous layers on just to make sure that everything lines up well. As you'll see in a minute, there will be a layer that does not line up properly. So it's important to do all this on the same file so that you can constantly be checking and making sure all of your layers fit together. So I just hid that first version of the eyes, and we're going to do a second eye version here. This is where, you can really let your creativity flow. Obviously, this is a crap drawing. I'm just showing you guys like the philosophy behind it, the theory, how it works, so that you can do this on your own. Bobby kind of taught me this. All our rabbits have like X's as their pupils, which I don't know why. That's kind of cool for a little cartoon guy. But anyway, you have 2 different sets of eyes here now. You can kind of switch back and forth between the 2 to see how that works. And here's a couple different like mouths. So now we've got a few different folders or categories. We've got bodies. There's only one of them, that pink body. We've got 3 different hairstyles, 2 different types of eyes. Now we've got 2 different mouths, and here's going to be a third option for the mouth. In the folders, we could get to this later, but we have a program that runs that generates all of these images into combined pictures that I'll show you in a second, and you have to name these layers specifically. When you export them, depending on what program you use, you can batch export all the layers at once individually. So on Procreate, for example, I have a way that I can export with one button, and it will create like 20 different files. It'll be like, green hair, blonde hair, black hair, surprised eyes, regular eyes, surprised mouth, whatever. here's an example of a layer that does not fit properly. So I'm trying to make some like sunglasses here for this guy. Pretty crappy attempt at sunglasses, but that's why Bobby is the artist and not myself. I made the brush a little bit bigger to make it fit here, but as you'll see in a second, these sunglasses were drawn for this particular set of eyes. However, it doesn't, it might not necessarily work on the other eyes. There we go. See, so the other eyes were a little bit more to the left, and so the sunglasses don't look right on those eyes. I was trying to draw an arrow here to point it out, but had the wrong color at first. But yeah, here we go. So big red arrow. This is not good. You have to pay attention for this. That's why it's important to do it all in the same file so you can switch layers on and off and kind of make sure that everything fits together as you're drawing it. Otherwise, it's going to look terrible when you run the program to generate all these images. So what's going to happen here is, now that I understand that those eyes are a little bit offset, you know, I can draw sunglasses that I know will fit on both sets of eyes. So here's my second attempt at a crappy pair of aviators or Ray-Bans or whatever these things are, and we'll test it in just a second to make sure that it fits. So I hope this is kind of helping you understand like how to draw in layers and why to do it this way, so that you can really just, you know, it's like Mr. Potato Head digitally. You just compile all these features together. There we go. Green check mark. That one's good. So now that I've kind of shown you all these different layers and how they all work together, I'll give you an example of the Bobby Rabbit's code. So when Bobby sent me these files, here's all of our different, you know, rabbit bodies. You know, we all the different colors. You have different sunglasses, you know, to choose from. Here's the different mouths that we have. You know, these are beards. You got all these different t-shirts. See how there's a blank background? It's important to make sure you export the PNGs with this blank background here. That way the layers fit on top of each other. We have a configuration file that tells us the order, so you want to lay down the background first. You know, you have the body after that, then the shirt. This all has to be in the right order. But in a nutshell, what's going to happen is we're going to do npm run generate, which is the command to generate all these images. And as you see here, it's going to start spitting them out one by one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And where these are spitting out is going to be in this folder right here, in our build folder. We have these images. You see how they're just getting created right now. This is the computer making these combined images. So these are all rabbits that we just generated with those different traits randomly. With all the different layers we have, we probably could have made, ooh, that's a cool one. We probably could have made millions of different combinations of these, but essentially what it allows you to do is spend just a little bit of time drawing different layers, and if they all line up together, you can create an insane amount of unique images. That way we can involve, you know, thousands of people in our project. It would be nothing to us to generate another 10,000 rabbits if we wanted to upgrade to Ethereum 2.0 once that blockchain becomes available, which is part of our plan. So now that you guys have gotten a little bit of a sneak peek of, you know, what rabbit features are in this collection, and you've seen how to draw in layers, we'll end this video. I hope it was helpful to anybody that has any interest in making their own NFT. If you have any questions, you know, comment, reach out to us on any of our social media channels, and look forward to educating everybody more on what we've learned throughout this process, and I'll see you guys in the Discord.